Welcome to HSBC Build and Grow, a series that focuses on managing finance for business continuity. As financials takes center stage in business continuity conversations, your story together with HSBC is proud to present this series, featuring some of the finest minds in the ecosystem to help businesses leverage the financial ingenuity, perspective, and insights from these experts to power their own journey, their own continuity. Vamsi, it's such a pleasure to be talking to you again. I have to go on record to say this that with you, I can keep on having conversation because last time what we discussed, there was so much of insight and so openly and generously you shared, your journey, your learnings with us. So I'm looking forward to another interesting conversation with you today.
Same here, Shraddha. Thanks for having me over again, and likewise.
I heard that Vedantu has raised a significant amount of capital in this bad time that we are facing. So let's begin on that note. No, tell me what is happening.
Yeah, things are going good. Yeah, almost feels like a guilty thing, with most of the friends and other startups and all not going great. But yeah, EdTech is having great strong tailwinds. Needless to say, schools are shut. All the tuitions and the coachings and other standard options for where parents send their kids is not there. So since April onwards, we have been witnessing strong tailwinds, and yeah, things are going well. I think for us, it's been ulta. It's going even better, and yeah, all the metrics, business, free users, traffic, everything has been on a all-time rise, right? So EdTech, in fact, you would know, Shraddha, I spoke to you last time also. EdTech in general is also growing very strongly. I think as an ecosystem, probably as Vedantu, we were anyways witnessing some 3x or 3.5x growth year on year.
Yeah.
But due to this COVID and this pandemic, what has happened is the same thing we are now witnessing in 4 months kind of a time frame. So yeah, things have been well there.
Yeah. Vamsi, today I wanted to talk to you about this particular thing which I'm increasingly believing in my last 3, 4 months of interviews and speaking to entrepreneurs, experts, different people, is that, you know, हिंदी में कहती हूँ गुड हैबिट्स जो होते हैं ना जो पहले से फॉर्म होते हैं वो बैड टाइम्स में दिखते हैं like your good habits take care of you during bad difficult times. And then I think as a company what you have built and what Vedantu has been built on good habits, good practices, good intent and purpose. Tell me, like if you have to tell again, अगर summarize करना है 3-4 चीजों में जो सही किया आपने और करते रहे, which is holding you in good stead right now, what would those 3-4 things be?
बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है वो क्योंकि आई थिंक लास्ट टॉक में जब अपन ने बात किया था तो we were also discussing some phases जहाँ पर things were not good, right?
Yeah.
When a company and when a team comes out of that, that's really reinforces some of the good habits which you're talking about. So in fact 3-4 भी नहीं है शब्द, बहुत simple एक दो ही है. For us it's been student obsession. Student को
Yeah.
center में रखो, समझो उसको क्या चाहिए, just to give that, right? And I think that's for us it's student, for someone else it can be whatever customer. That's a fundamental on which we have tried to conduct ourselves, trying to build even today. तो आज भी हम लोग जब एक कैटेगरीज ऐड करते हैं और ये करते हैं तो हम ये देखते हैं कि what does the kid want actually, what does the parent want, and try to conduct ourselves very strongly in that direction. That's, I think that's 80%, 90%, that's it. Rest of the things is developing a culture of strong innovation, and innovation is a abused word, right? Oh, right, it has so many connotations to it. तो हम लोग internally उसको बहुत simple रखते हैं. So what we do essentially internally is very simple. We just ask ourselves, what is the new thing which you tried, say last month or last week? That's it, as simple as that. What is the new thing you tried? What's the stuff you learned from it? In fact, we
Yeah.
make it a practice in our monthly reviews and all. I ask all of my guys to have one slide just on this. Okay, what is it that you learned last month, and what's the new thing you did last month, and what's it you learned from it? And I think that really when it's when you start thinking over it as a habit, that really allows you to constantly innovate. And for our field in EdTech especially, जहाँ पर we are trying to reinvent the way teaching and learning has been happening for centuries, and now we are changing. That's very critical for us, especially. So I would say these are the two main things with which we try to build Vedantu.
While the edtech space, as you're saying, is seeing the tailwind, and of course, like it's like everywhere we are hearing how the edtech space is growing in India, I'm sure across the world, but so does competition around you, right? So does the world around you. So does capital come to different players, different things, and now I see this sense of competition coming in this space. And don't give me a generic answer for this. Tell me.
Nobody can escape with a generic answer with you, right? So, so I will not even attempt it. So, अरे बढ़िया है. मतलब, see, I'll tell you, taking a step back. मतलब in 2014 when we started, no, 2014, so almost 2018, 19 till that time, the question we used to get is, यार competition कौन है तो, like, you know, and that was a tougher thing to answer. Like, if there's no competition, then it means what you're doing isn't, like, you know, even relevant. So I'm actually very happy. So somebody was telling me this, there are 478 edtech startups in K12 in Bangalore alone. So wow. So no, I think there's a two-pronged answer to that. One is it's amazing for the ecosystem because you know education में इतना सब कुछ है करने के लिए and एक company या एक इंसान सब कुछ नहीं कर सकता, right? I'm a fundamental believer of that. Yeah. So we need entrepreneurs, we need edupreneurs to come and do their bit, right? That's simple. Second, as far as competition, I'm not just liking it, I'm loving it because you know it's something which we dreamed about always. Live tutoring is something which we started in the country in 2014. We were fundamental believers of कि teacher को center में रख के interactive learning is the best online pedagogy, and it's very satisfying and satiating as a founder to see now even you know the big ones also like who have been there, you know, coming into this model, right? So that further validates कि जो कर रहे थे सही कर रहे थे. And education, I mean, you know this. We spoke about last time also. Education is never a winner takes all market. I mean, we know schools are not. So students are there. The huge number of them. 280 million kids just in K12 alone, right? सारे online मिला के भी आज हम 3% भी नहीं है, right? So there's long way to go, and I think this competition should force each one of us to even further innovate, further that pace of innovation. And there's a long way to go. So how we look at it, we don't actually obsess about competition. In fact, in all our internal talks, we don't really talk a lot about competition. We're very internally focused as a team, and the culture is also very internally focused. We just, you know, as I said, keep student at the center, obsess over him. That's what you should obsess about. We don't obsess over competition, and we just, you know, execute on that. That's what we do. And you know, thankfully we also have, you know, recently, you know, did fundings. Previously also we have had always been fortunate enough to attract good set of investors as partners. So वो fight at least नहीं रही है.
Coming back to this point that you made in 2014, you, Vedantu, came with live tutoring here in this country and believed in this, right? Do you feel that you don't get as much recognition, as much celebration, or there's not as much talk about you spearheading this in India?
No, yeah, I think on that, I would probably say that, in fact, thanks to you guys, right, media and all, we have got, at least I believe, right, we have got our share of recognition. In fact, Vedantu is a known brand, right? And also there are a lot of sub nuances to it, which, you know, it's very tough for us to make people understand also. And, you know, you might think from your perspective, but many times what happens is people think from their perspective. So, you know, so live tutoring itself is समझाने में ही बहुत साल लग गए कि this is a different pedagogy, and which is completely okay. Now people are talking about it because Shraddha, now every school is doing it, right? Every, you know, school is going online. So our teachers पढ़ा रहे हैं, and you know, so now suddenly hence that, you know, term came up, right?
Yeah.
But what I've tend to see, you know, always is, you know, you might think about, you know, your model and your, like, you know, sub terms and sub terms and all that. But for people, for parents, like, for example, it's essentially online teaching and learning, right? So ab jaake wo maturity aa rahi hai, frankly speaking, if you ask me, when people are able to understand, okay, what are the different models? Acha, ek synchronous learning karke hoti hai, ek asynchronous learning karke hoti hai and all. But for me to expect that probably a last year or last to last year, you know, is not would not be appropriate. right? So, but then I should be thanking you guys, all the media, for really upping the ante on creating the awareness of this category. I would really, this would not have been possible without the support of the media, and it's really kudos to you guys for upping the awareness about it, and lot of awareness. I think last 6 months, especially since April, the awareness have been off the charts.
Now that we are, that we are talking in the context of money matters, I again want you to, if I don't know if we discussed this last time, but if you can tell us about the price point here in our country when it comes to education, and how do you see the behavior as different, peculiar, unique to India when it comes to paying for education?
So Shraddha, before Vedantu worked on Laksh, which was an
Yeah.
offline test prep brand for 8-9 years, and I think the biggest delta is the price point bit itself. In Laksh also, we were operating in a tier 3, tier 4 location. So Vedantu ke andar, the technology and of course the model allows us to disrupt the price point, and I think that's the massively big lever. So
Mm.
at the core of what we are trying to do, one of our strong mission statements is quality teaching at a super affordable price, right? And I
Mm.
think that's especially for a country like India, so massive unlock, right?
Mm.
And just to give you some sense on the direction, when we started way back in 14-15, हम लोग operate कर रहे थे 500 rupees per hour kind of price point. I mean, just to simplify everything.
Mm.
I mean, it was a year's package and all, but if I just simplify it to an hour thing, it was 500 bucks per hour. Now, today, we operated almost like 65 to 70 rupees per hour, right? Today, right? And this is already a 34 to 40% less than the offline price points. And I'm comparing with a tier 3, tier 4 offline equivalent, not even a Mumbai, Bangalore equivalent. And our aim is to further reduce this by half, right? Because when you do that, that's really when you are unlocking the true potential of edtech and technology.
Yeah.
और
Yeah.
हर एक गांव में जाके वो बच्चे को क्वालिटी टीचर और क्वालिटी इंटरेक्शन and पर्सनलाइजेशन के साथ पढ़ाना, right? So without giving a lot of details, I can just tell you that this year you would see a slew of innovations coming out of Vedantu, which will further get this thing down. And yeah, so I'm very excited. I'll definitely obviously be inviting you for that, but yeah, we're pretty excited about this.
No, but this is so exciting. This is so encouraging, Vamsi, because my next question is about this, right? Like, while EdTech is seeing unprecedented growth right now in India, but, I read a very hard-hitting article which said that the benefit of EdTech, the benefit of education is still going to a very limited few. Because in most of the villages, most of the places, we assume कि सबके पास लैपटॉप है और सब कोई इंटरनेट चल रहा है और ये price point सबके लिए work कर रहा है, but for most of India this price point doesn't work, and what you're telling me is that you're thinking about this large segment.
100%, yeah. So in fact, let me share some stats with you. So when we began in like 17, 18, when we started doing it some scale, right? 80% of our paid users, let's not talk about free users, okay? वो आते हैं हर जगह से, but paid users were from tier 1, like top 7, 8 cities, right? Top 10 cities, ले लेते. 80-85% होता था. Today, Shraddha, if I just give you last month's stats, right? 73% of our paid users would be from, apart from the tier 2 and below cities, right? So I personally seen a massive shift in the transformation. But having said that, what you say, I completely acknowledge. आज जैसे मैं खुद ही बोला है कि आज edtech का penetration ही 2-3%. So first of all, that itself is a big disclaimer that of the overall numbers, we are just at 2-3% numbers, which is very small. And even then, if you go in rural areas, people will not even have mobiles. Forget laptops. Anyways, laptops is out. Like our mobile, and not just for us, every tech company's mobile trend is huge. We are 75% plus of mobiles. But even that is not there, right? So it's a problem which needs to be solved not just from tech firms, but an overall, socio-economic fabric has to change. Government is doing its bit, and the internet companies are doing their bit, and we need to do our bit. And all of this, coming together will further this.
Yeah, but what I'm hearing is that you are consciously going after this large segment, and we will be hearing something from you.
Yeah. Of course. I mean, as of today, majority of it is there. Out of the million students who take a live class on Vedantu today, right? And this is paid plus free both. The number of the tier two and below students is upwards of 85, 88%, right? So,
Wow.
so there is a huge need there. This just tells that there's a huge need. And by optimizing for bandwidth, by optimizing for, अब जैसे एक बहुत interesting चीज बताता हूँ, तो हमने देखना शुरू किया कि our classes are long, right? Classes are like 1 hour, 15 minutes, especially for senior grades, 10th, 11th, and 12th, and 45 minutes for lower grades. So what we started seeing was कि attendance जो evening classes की है वो drop हो जा रही है.
Hmm.
Like strange, right? It just used to vanish. So sometimes they used to do back-to-back classes, especially for IIT and these intensive exams, right? So first class, there were a lot of kids. Second class, no kids. So we started thinking about it, like the class interesting and I don't know what.
Yeah.
Then we figured out, bumped about a simple fact that Geo has this daily limit, right? So the daily limit used to get finished by the first class is over. तो वो कुछ 200 MB या कुछ तो limit होता है कुछ I don't remember exactly the number. And so then we started optimizing our classes for that low bandwidth, and then we saw the attendance coming massively back. So this is just like I'm sharing a very you get all these secrets from us, I know. So I'm sharing this very internal insight कि ये निकल के आया. So it's very interesting. And there's a lot of work to be done, of course, to optimize it and to penetrate this even further.
Yeah, but the what is very encouraging, Vamsi, is that you are so consciously thinking about all this segment, and you are so consciously thinking about price, and also from an impact perspective, so that it reaches everyone. Yeah. One question I want to ask you is that, are you thinking when you have, when whatever launches that you are planning to do, are you thinking about girl child as a segment? Will you have something special for them?
I think Shraddha, एक अच्छी बात क्या है? Girl child is automatically taken care of in the base construct itself, right? And it has nothing to do with pandemic or anything of that sort. Very simple fact. And this is nothing to do with even tier 2, tier 3 cities, right? It is as applicable for a Delhi as probably for any tier 3, tier 4. Many girl children don't even, parents don't really, are comfortable sending them to, let's say, a 10-kilometer far off. And especially when these classes are late in the night.
Yeah.
Right? So that's massive. So we always used to see a very big chunk of, especially in the later grades, big chunk of female kids, coming, children studying with us. And in our customer survey calls also, it is very apparent. Like it's very, very obvious, and parents say that this is very safe for our kids. बच्चा आंखों के सामने पड़ता है, and that's the statement, right? Which they make. So some of it is automatically taken care of, right? And now, so I think it is even more apparent because now parents are realizing that when you can't send a kid outside and they're studying on platforms like Vedantu, they are simply able to understand that यार ये तो वैसा ही है, उससे भी अच्छा है, तो पहले मैं भेज क्यों रहा था. And last 5-6 months, this thing has really hit them very strong, and that's one of the reasons why we are seeing all this kind of good growth.
From a scale perspective, and for EdTech Place, what's the growth? What's the path? If we have to talk in terms of numbers, where do you think can EdTech Place? How big can they be?
So that's that question is good and deep also. So I think there are a lot of nuances to it. But so let's talk about India as a country first, and then we can talk about also the scope of the EdTech players in general. So I think very simply put, India as a country in which education is aspirational, not the parents. So the need is evident out there. So we don't have to create need. So that's taken care of. And it's an existing industry. So in just K-12 ko agar le le, so 280 million kids हैं, right? Offline pura fragmented, unorganized market मिला लें तो, I mean, the estimates are all over the place. Someone calls it the offline is like a 40 billion, some comes to 65 billion, 80 billion, like whatever that number is, that's huge. And I would say a good measure of success for all the edtech players would be in combination if all of us are at a anywhere from 5% to 8% kind of a penetration by 2000,
Hmm.
say 24, 25. That itself would be a good measure of success. Right now, that number is like probably 2%. Yeah,
Hmm.
some estate there. So I think I would say from a very near-term perspective, which is probably for the next 3, 4 years, uh, assuming normal times, right? This
Yeah.
COVIDs and these things obviously accelerate these things quite a lot. But assuming normal times, I think in the range of 5 to 10% penetration itself is something which is huge, right?
Hmm.
And when these sudden black swan events happen, जो चीज 4 साल में होने वाली होती है वो 1 साल में हो जाती है कई बार, right? 1 डेढ़ साल में. So that's what we are witnessing today. So yeah, so that's the kind of the large outcome companies are going to come about, Shraddha, because see, profitability was never a issue in education, right? Uh, Strong gross margins, right? In whichever way you look at it, it's not a cash cost sensitive market. So it's not that कि कहीं पर discount दे दूं like in e-commerce मैं वहां चले जाऊंगा. So healthcare and education is very similar in that
Yeah.
regard, right? So when you combine these fundamental things, so it's all about brand. And
Yeah.
brand का मतलब भी बहुत important है. At least I'm very particular about when my team comes to me and says that oh brand कर लेते हैं, select TV कर लेते हैं and all. We are doing that also, but that's publicity or that's probably awareness building. Brand for me is essentially all touch points. How well are you orchestrating it so that the experience which a kid and a parent is taking from all those touch points, interactions from you, is actually causing that brand. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the best offline brands in education which has been set up is not really about publicity, but about the experience which they are able to generate and the trust they are able to generate and the results which they have been able to get out.
Yeah.
So learning experience and learning outcome super critical. That's how you create brand. And if you are able to, and any education company is able to do this well, the outcome is going to be one large, and second, the outcome is also going to be very solid business in terms of unit economics, in terms of profitability. So I'm a pretty big believer that in fact I to go out and say, and even in my investor discussions, कि, I don't know about other sectors, but you will really have probably one of the most profitable, big, large outcome companies coming out of edtech, right? And
Yeah.
it's very obvious math why I say so. So that's one part of the answer. The second is international thing. So I'm also a big believer of that. So even today, आज वेदांतो में बिना कुछ किए, students from 48 countries study on Vedantu, right?
Wow.
As we speak, and this is without us doing anything. Indian teachers and Indian, being given the fluency in language which they have, my vision is that we as a country can actually become a global teaching powerhouse, right?
Yeah.
So if I add that, then the possibilities are massive, right?
Yeah.
So it's pretty exciting times, right? Like let's see how that pans out.
You spoke very interestingly about the brand and how important the brand is, and Vedantu is a very good brand, is a credible brand, and I think consciously, because I remember a few years back also very consciously you've gone about creating that, but at the core of it is trust, right? And people trust Vedantu. So have you been very conscious about it, that people have to trust us, people have
Right.
to love us, and these are the 2 3 things we will do? How focused have you been about that? Because you've done a good job of it.
So try Shraddha. And that comes from culture first.
Hmm.
I'm a big believer of that. That uh, it's not one person's job, right? Many companies get this wrong, that there is some CMO or branding guy, and they think that iska kaam. So that doesn't normally. I mean, that never works properly. So it's a culture actually rather than thing. Yeah, you might go out there and do some marketing campaigns, and all those things are important, and do it. But the real brand isn't that, right? That's amplification of it probably. The
Yeah.
real brand is the journey, the customer journey, in our case, the student journey, and being obsessed about it and understanding at every journey point, how are you adding value, right? Steve Jobs used to say, I mean, in some of the talks, and it's a very interesting talk. I would recommend startup founders to or anyone interested in brand to listen to it. What he says very beautifully is you need to think of brand as a company's brand as probably a bank. So हर interaction में either पैसे डेबिट हो रहे हैं, क्रेडिट हो रहे हैं, पैसे जा रहे हैं या आ रहे हैं. So you have to think about it like that, right? So for every interaction, let's say care में I put up call and I'm calling. So are you adding value? तो तुम्हारे brand के बैंक में पैसे आ रहे हैं, or if it's a bad experience, so jar, right? So
Yeah.
every interaction, so every campaign, every small to big interaction, if you start thinking from this framework, you'll understand that वो culture क्या है जिससे brand build होता है. So we've been very conscious. I mean, I'm not saying we are there yet. I mean, we have done shady job at many of shabby job at many of the things. That's still a lot of work for us to be also doing. But yes, being in education for almost 14, 15 years, it's very, obviously it comes from that time spent. That student को center में रख के उसके around सोचना बहुत critical है. And for us in the company, student is the most critical. I mean, anything and everything can get mobilized for his interest should not be compromised. Simple, right? तो कुछ हो जाए. So I think that obsession helps, and yeah, that's
So
how we went about it.
no, that I think that's what I'm saying, that Vedantu has a very credible, and that's why I'm just talking about trust, because you have to trust the brand and you build that. And of course, I think brand building is an infinite journey. So yeah, but tell me something now. Again, coming back to this, that while you're doing this and you've done a great job of it, do you have a mechanism to track it every day besides the NPS scores and all that?
So, so I think, yeah, one you already said, NPS is one good indicator. Every company uses it. We also use it, but it's a lagging indicator, needless to say. So, so one of the advantages, Shraddha, of being in tech, the tech part of it gives a lot of leading indicators to it. So we have a bunch of them here. So, I mean, I'll not bore you with all of them, right? So what we essentially tracking after every class, we look at the learning experience metrics, right? Which the stickiness, the sentimental analysis of the chat, right? The ratings and those things, right? Which gives a very good sense about बच्चे को मजा आ रहा है. So it has nothing to do with outcome. Outcome is a separate beast in itself. But at least the first part, which is, are the kid enjoying it? Is it? And our even brand message is very simple, right? So मजा आएगा तो समझ आएगा तो मजा आएगा. So that's what we, it's also our tagline. So we are inherent believers of that we believe that when a kid really enjoys learning, outcome happens.
Yeah.
And when outcome happens, he starts enjoying the learning also. It's a loop. So we just try to get that loop in. So this is the leading metrics we look at, the experience metrics, how the kid is enjoying it and all that. NPS, of course, had. And then finally, even more than NPS, is the results and the retention. Our parents coming back to us. Because everything else you can still measure, but if this is not happening, then it means that the parent is not trusting you enough, right? Yeah. So the ultimate proof of the pudding is in the last one, which is the retention.
What's your big dream in the next 12, 18 months? What would you say?
Disrupting the price point is really the ultimate wish list. So I think the price point, getting it down to almost like a 25 rupees per, 500 rupees per month, right? Let's even forget ours, right? So can we get that down to that kind of a price point, right? And still provide quality teaching. I mean, it's not that, you do that and you're going to do a not so good job of teaching. The teaching quality being intact, doing that. If I do that, so we are very input metric focused company. If you look at it, most of our answers are in input, not in output. So we don't look at 10 million बच्चों को पढ़ाएंगे, वो सब हो जाएगा. That's a consequence, right? So if you're somehow able to do this input right, in which price disruption and quality teaching, output 10 million हो जाएगा. We never thought we'll be at 1 million, Shraddha, by the way, right? So me and my co-founders, me, Anand and Pulkit, we have this habit of doing an annual retreat, right? So every year three of us, we just go, right? So this time we were in Goa, right? So in Jan, so we sit down and we look at next 2 years mein kahan hona chahiye and all that. So we were around 125,000 students at that time, taking a live class on Vedantu. And we said that, okay, we'll be at 10x in 2 years. Good, na? 3x jump, okay, 10x karenge. And this is now 1 million. So I think, these things tends to surprise you a lot sometimes, which is great. sometimes positive, sometimes negative also. But
Yeah.
I think input is what we are focused on. So price disruption, maintaining the quality of delivery in such a way that the experience of an online class is 10x better than any offline class. So today, the thing which gives me massive confidence is that I can stake my claim on it, having been a teacher in offline and online both, right? Like Vedantu ka jo delivery hai is 10x better than any offline out there. Forget online. Online se to it would like, not even comparing. And we are super proud about it that we are probably with benchmark houses are best in the world. Forget India, right? And I think these innovations which I was talking about, I mean, furthering this innovation so that that experience is top notch, 10x better than any best offline experience at the price point which I just mentioned.
Yeah.
That's really the ultimate point where all our wish list tends to converge. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, if you meet your wish and get your the check in the list, then I think the country also wins, right? In your if you win this, then the country wins. And
True.
so many
That
students.
is true, Shraddha. That is true. In fact, I think, and I think you also mentioned this to me in one of the our conversations, right? And that's the right thing. All this is consequences. I mean, take it. We tend to sell, like, somehow this whole thing has been done in such a way, we tend to celebrate these valuations, fundings, and all that. By the way, in the company, we don't celebrate it. So I should tell you this. We have never celebrated funding milestones. We have celebrated to impact milestones, right? So the million students, the results are in, right? Amazing results we are getting, right? So it's all celebrations around. So because I do believe that what you celebrate is what you become, right?
Yeah.
And these things needs to be consequences. Business is a consequence, right? For it's all this is consequence. So if we are super focused on the student learning experience and learning outcome, बाकी सब हो जाएगा.
So you are on Money Matters. Tell me, what does money mean to you personally?
I think it's a segue to the last one. It's a consequence. It's essentially it's probably not even a scorecard. It's just one of the metrics, right? So yeah, but it's definitely a consequence. It's not the primary thing. It's something which is a consequence.
You've got consequences again and again, no? With Lakshya also, you built a profitable business. You sold a successful business very early on, before all this, everything became a buzz. Okay, and last, I have to ask you, last few months of pandemic, what has been your learnings? Any personal learning, anything new, anything different?
It's been a very humbling experience, Shraddha. I would really say this. Forget Vedantu, right? For a time being, it's been a very humbling experience. Being in an ecosystem where obviously you're connected, so many of your friends, fellow founders, right? Going through those experiences for no reason of their own.
Yeah.
No mistake or no reason of their own, has been very humbling to take a step back and realize that you should be thankful. You are lucky to be where you are, and you should be thankful, and then probably make the best of the opportunity. So I think last few months has been a lot of changes in multiple things, for all of us. But yes, for me personally, it's been very humbling, and I've probably taken this opportunity in my all town halls to tell people that this is a time which काम होता रहेगा. It's also a time to take a step back and look at things around you, absorb it, and probably feel a little grateful about
Yeah.
it, thankful about it. Not just from a business perspective, but sheer from a fact that where we are, right? Given all the craziness happening outside, so that I think really strongly things. Dunia change ho gayi hai, as it's completely new normal. We are doing last talk we did because we are doing this. So it's amazing. All of us are learning. I think the learning curve for each and every individual is very shorter, and that's amazing.
Yeah, but what you're saying, Vamsi, is that we all have to be grateful for what we have.
100%.
Yeah, all the very best with Vedantu. We are all cheering for you for what you're building in Vedantu, and we look forward to you building a very super large company, because you're building a very high impact, and that purpose comes across whenever we talk. Yeah.
Thanks, Shraddha.